the Centenary Vase, and Glorious Dragon. Place 2 from 4. Second up, Senor Toba has the visor coming off. Moneycatcher unbeaten in Group 3. And then we've got a Kaying Star. All of his wins have been 1600. Running Glory race as well over the 1800. And Looking Great Tom is a 2-time winner over the 1800 metres. Small field, long run down the back. Who leads and what sort of pace?
Yeah, well, Moneycatcher should be up there. You wouldn't imagine he's going to get too much of a strong tempo off the front here, Moneycatcher. He was pested up on the lead last time out at Happy Valley. Looking Great, he can sit prominently, Paul, from barrier number 1. And Kaying Star, if it was the Kaying Star of old, he'd probably be the leader.
Yeah, well, that's the alternative, isn't it? But he hasn't really shown that in his recent start. So there is an alternative leader there with Kaying Star. Senor Toba, I think, will be just sort of midfield in the small field. Running Glory generally gets back, and Glorious Dragon does the same. So I don't think there'll be too much change amongst those ones.
Speaking of a Glorious Dragon, Tom, as we look at previous winners, he won this race 2 years ago.
He did. He's had a few issues since then. Of course, Zabrowski won it last year, and he's since been retired from Hong Kong racing. Of course, the good horse Exultant. And Donoso a few years ago, Paul was able to win, but myriad of different winners there.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? And look, it does throw up a sort of a different sort of winner that's coming through sort of this 1800 metre sort of distance.
All right, so that's the previous winners. Perhaps this year's winner could be Moneycatcher. To find out more, Nick spoke to his trainer, Frankie Law.
Frankie, Moneycatcher runs in the Centenary Vase on Sunday. That was a nice win in the January Cup last time. How's he been since?
After race is good. He could keep the form really good, yeah.
No trials since then? Was it just a case of ticking him over until this race?
Yeah, no need to trial, yeah. His form is good, and after this one, I'll think about the end of this month. They have a Gold Cup try, yeah.
So with that in mind, is this very much a trial for the Gold Cup in your mind going forward?
Yeah, because 2000. I think 18 and 2000 suitable for him, yeah.
You took the blinkers off for the international meet. I mean, that was perhaps a bold move, given that he'd won the ladies' purse with them on. Do you feel he's sort of a better horse without the blinkers, or?
Before he hasn't been yet, I tried to put some gears on, and after he win the race, I put Hill Bowman on the, I think 2000, the Group 2 race. He said a little bit keen. If we can take off the blinkers, make him relax to be better. So we take the blinkers off. He still won good, yeah.
He obviously took a few races to win 113, but now he has come good. He is the highest rated horse in your stable as well. So are there I imagine there's a few hopes pinned on this horse, aren't there?
Yeah. Now, before, he hasn't got a winner. Maybe he had it, and then now he's getting better. So, and always consistent. I think it's be okay, yeah.
I wanted to ask you about a pace angle in the race, Frankie. Now, there is a bit of tempo in this. Kaying Star and Looking Great are all horses that do like to go forward. Looking Great, obviously, your other runner. We'll get a line on him shortly. Does Moneycatcher have to lead, or is he happy taking a sit equally?
He can take a seat. Doesn't matter. Yeah, he can lead or take a seat. Yeah.
Looking Great is your other runner, as I mentioned. What of him? I mean, he would look a little bit outclassed possibly, but do you feel he's a horse with a lightweight's chance?
Yeah, he always lightweight should be better, and then 18 should be the best distance for him. He can 2002. He win the race also.
And he's running the January Cup was quite creditable, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There he is, Frankie Law, Paul. As we have a look at the graphic of Moneycatcher, we saw the race in the replay there. That was a big win in the January Cup because he got pestered by Red Majesty.
He did, didn't he? So, look, he's really sort of found his straps here. He'd been a consistent sort of non-winner, hadn't he, leading into it. But now he's won 2 from his last 4. I think this is a nice race for him as well. I do think he'll get to the front. Looking Great, obviously, he's not going to take him on. And you can see the 2-time winner there, one at Sha Tin and now one at Happy Valley.
If they do opt to lead, I don't think there's going to be as much pressure for him this time round as there was there at Happy Valley. Just one of those horses, Mark, that just seems to go that sort of one tempo the whole way and always runs his honest race.
Right, so that's a comprehensive wrap on Moneycatcher. We move on, Tom, to the little horse, Running Glory. Now, he ran third here last time. This was in Class 2 with 134 pounds. 116 on his back. He's not going to know himself.
Yeah, New Year's Day this was. Back on the 21st last time out. He was doing his best work late, wasn't he? Down the outside, really closing off strongly. The last bit of this race, Paul, was very good, which is encouraging for 1800 metres.
Yeah, look, he's only a little horse. He gets that weight relief. He comes into 116. So I think he's one of the main dangers to Moneycatcher in this race.
All right, Wagner just rides him for John Size. Now, the winner from 2 years ago, Paul Glorious Dragon, he's only had one run back from a very long spell. He ran 9th. This is a trial since then. You can't miss him. He's the big grey.
Yeah, look, and he finishes off nice. He is getting on a bit in age now and has had a couple of issues, this horse. So he's one I didn't put in the end.
Yeah, I didn't quite get him in either. He was doing his best work late here in this barrier trial. Never really got involved from the back of the field at Happy Valley last time out. So just happy to see what he can do here. But the trialer was taking good ground off them at the end over a trip that was inappropriate for him.
And that was Nebula that won that trial. Next up, Tom, we've got Senor Toba now. He's got the passport out, so this will be a trial, I guess, to see if he goes overseas. It was really disappointing last time in the Vase.
Yeah, he was up front, set the tempo with there, and then sort of the 300 metres he was headed. He ran on okay, I thought, in this trial, Paul. If they've got Qatar on their minds, he'd be wanting to go close in this race, but he's just got no sort of quicken at all, this horse, the last two.
No, he is, isn't he? He's sort of one pace, a real star is Senor Toba. Look, I don't think it worked last time when he led, so I think they'll take a sit sort of midfield with him. And look, I've included him because it's only a small field. I think he's got a chance.
A more classy style, Wonder Years. Same sort of pace, kept going round and round.
Yeah, maybe.
I meant a higher graded Wonder Years. And Ka Star, Paul, he's never won, as mentioned, past 1,600 metres, but he has run a couple of placings over the 1,800. Importantly, he did lead up in this trial.
Yeah, look, which we haven't seen for a while with him. I mean, but he has been racing against horses like Romantic Warrior, etc. But he did run against Moneycatcher 3 starts ago and was slow out and didn't lead on that occasion. Look, he is getting on a bit in age. The Ka Star of old could easily win this race. I just included him on a monologue.
Yeah, I left him out in the end. He was up outside the leader, faded sort of the last 300 there in the Cup, pushed out a few times late in that barrier trial over 1,600 metres. So, no, he's not in for me this time round.
That is the breakdown for the Centenary Vase. 4:05 is start time, Paul, and who's going to win at about 4:07?
Yeah, well, I think 4:07. Moneycatcher can win this race now. He's hit his straps nicely. Running Glory will have to give Moneycatcher a bit of a start. Senor Toba and Ka Star. 3-5-2-4.
I think it's Moneycatcher's race to lose here. Yes, he does have the weight to carry 132 pounds, but he can dictate off the front here with hopefully not too much pressure. He got plenty of pressure last time out. Running Glory goes in. Lightweight's definitely going to suit him off that run back on the 21st where he was closing off over a mile. Senor Toba didn't work going to the front last time out, but they had to try something against those international horses because if they'd quickened in the mid and the later stage of that race, he wouldn't have been able to quicken with them, Senor Toba. And looking great, comes into this off the back of a handy run, I thought, last time out in the January Cup behind Moneycatcher. 3, 5, 2 and 6.